St. Francis?
Yep.
Great school.
A wonderful, incredible 2 years of my life. I was there full time teaching 11th grade religion, and boy did I learn a lot. I hope the kids learned a lot too, but I certainly learned a lot.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
It was awesome.
What'd you learn? Tell me one thing.
What did I learn from these kids?
Yeah.
I learned that the anti-Semitism that I thought existed, you know, that they hated Jews for, which was a prior generation, you know, they hated Jews for coming into their neighborhoods and quote, being slumlords, things like that. That wasn't their issue. These kids respected Jews because they went to college and they got an education, and they had a very positive view of the Jewish community, which was really, for me, it was really a boost. You know, I expected to come in there and get hostility. Instead, I got respect, and I tried to give it back to them too.
Respect goes a long way.
But I learned a lot about their lives and just what they overcame to come to school every day, because they came to school wearing uniforms, and some of them got beat up on the buses on the way to school because they were wearing uniforms, because they were trying to get a good education. So I really admired them for making that effort, and their families for making sure they came to St. Francis and had a real chance at a future. And I'm saying we because I used to be part of this, we get 90% of those graduates into colleges. And it's not easy, but we do it.
To Shamar and Lamar that I mentioned earlier, Ivy's son and daughter, they came out of St. Francis.
Well, you all know Sean Mosley, who became a player for the Terps, and he was one of my students. I'm still in touch with him and his father, and a lot of, look, my Facebook, I'm in touch with a lot of my former students. It was a great time.
Facebook can be a very, very good tool.
Well, we have a Facebook page for our project. It's called Opening the Gates, celebrate Gwynn Oak Amusement Park 50 years later. And we're having an incredible event on July 7th. I hope all your listeners will come there. We're starting at 1 in the afternoon, going till 7. We're going to have great entertainment that Dave's organizing for us. And some...
The one and only Dave Green.
The one and only Dave Green. And picnicking, and we're going to be having a horse there, not a real horse, a carousel horse that used to be in the carousel in Gwynn Oak Park, and it's now on the mall in Washington, D.C. And the owners are bringing one of the horses, and it's going to be dedicated as the civil rights horse. And the little girl, who's now no longer a little girl, Sharon Langley, who was the first African-American child to ride on the carousel at Gwynn Oak Amusement Park, she's coming from California, and she's going to be there. So we hope you will all join us. It's going to be a great time, and Kevin Kamenetz, whom we know is the Baltimore County Executive, he's going to be unveiling a historical marker right there on the site of that protest that occurred 50 years ago, 1963. There was coverage of that story all over the country. National news people were there because 400 people willingly protested in a nonviolent way and knew they were going to be arrested, and sure enough, they were arrested. If you see the documentary, you see how they were totally nonviolent. They made it very difficult for the police to arrest them because they just sat on the ground. Police had to pick them up one by one and take them down to the Pikesville Armory to be booked. So I hope you'll come see the documentary. It's showing some other places. Morgan State had the world premiere on April 24th. We just showed it at Baltimore Hebrew Congregation. And the next showing is June 9th, 3:30 p.m. at Metropolitan United Methodist Church.
In Sandtown?
That's
a place with the big crab feast.
Yeah, it's Sandtown right over.
Place with the big crab feast, man. We know Metropolitan, right on the corner.
Right over there at
Carlton and Lavelle.
Yeah, right at the center.
Man, we know where the crabs at.
And the Guy and I did with this protest real quick. The park was desegregated on August 28th, 1963, was the exact same day that the March on Washington was. So folks had to make the decision to go to the park or go to the March on Washington. And they all left to go on the March on Washington from Metropolitan Lafayette Square there. So there's a lot of history folks don't know that's right in their neighborhood.
At Metropolitan